our next topic is a 10-mile-an-hour speed limit a good idea? The Road Safety Foundation has proposed cutting the limit to an equivalent of a fast jog, and that's around schools, hospitals and sporting venues, and also social and cultural places in cities. They said that could help pedestrians stay alive, basically, because they're very vulnerable to impact and injury. And I'm just thinking we don't even need to do this item, do we? There's no argument here.
There is.
What?
There is, definitely. It's not speed that inherently kills people, and it is terrible and awful. It's people who drive badly. People can drive badly at 10 miles an hour and they can drive badly at 70 miles an hour. Now,
Which would you rather be hit by?
Well, obviously, Jeremy, the maths is there in terms of what the speed at which you are hit. But I imagine if somebody hits you with a car that's going at 10 miles an hour, you're still going to sustain some kind of injury.
I doubt it.
Look, it's going to be impossible to police. It's going to be impossible to regulate. Different terrains have different needs. It should be understood that when you're driving near a school, you need to take extra care. Same with a hospital, because people are milling around. And I think the other problem that we'll have, that will be a consequential thing of this, is that drivers will become so frustrated because they are going slower than somebody with a horse and cart, that actually they'll be more distracted, they're more inclined to look at their phones, they'll be wanting to kind of, G up and get going. And actually, it could be an own goal.
Angela, speed kills.
Bad driving kills.
No. Because...
Speed is bad driving.
No, because somebody could step out in between parked cars and you're driving along. Not every driver who sadly kills somebody is a bad driver. Not every driver who does. But if you're hit at 10 mile an hour, you're very, very unlikely to die. Very, very unlikely. If you're hit at 20 miles an hour, it's where you step out, so the driver, I'm not blaming drivers here, don't have time to brake, you've got a 10% chance of dying. If you're hit at 30 miles an hour, you step out and you're hit, you've got half a chance of dying. So you reduce speed to 10 mile an hour outside schools, limited areas. I only want it to limited areas. I'm a driver too. You will save lives.
How limited, though? Children are walking to and from school. Children walk to and from school.
Okay, why not just say in cities, and I'm going further than Kevin here, you don't go above 10 miles an hour in a city. There's no way a car needs to go faster than a bicycle.
Well, then why have the car? Why have the car?
Well, you've raised the brilliant
question. Okay, so you do. Obviously, you need the car because you can't do your.
Why have the car?
You can't do a Tesco shop for a family of 6 on the back of a bike.
Well, they used to do it before. Hang on, there were shops before there were cars.
Yeah, because they went to the corner shop and they just bought what they needed for the day. That's a whole difference in consumer trends, and you're making mistakes.
If we had 10 miles everywhere, when I drive from London to go home to the northeast of England, it would take us 30 hours. Right?
Maybe not on motorways. Actually, motorways are relatively safe. Yeah.
When Wales introduced a default 20 miles an hour area rather than 30, casualties on those roads went down 24%.
Isn't that amazing?
Now it got lifted, and I thought the government in Cardiff got it wrong, and they should have said it's up to local authorities in local areas where people are elected. So you basically have to have the consent of local people. You can have areas where 10, 20, 30, but we will save lives with 10 miles an hour.
6 weeks of school holidays.
Hospitals.
6 weeks of school holidays. Does it mean if you go down that particular road, you can only do 10 miles an hour? You're going to have dynamic
I'm impartial.
speed?
Well, you know what you can do.
But the idea you leave it. Gosh, I'm sounding like I've got a stronger opinion on this than Kevin. The idea you leave it to local authorities because they are owned by drivers essentially. But kids need to vote on this. Kids are the ones in danger.
Well, lower the age to 16, but no, local authorities, councillors have to be elected. And if people want lower speed limits in their area, then they can vote for it. If they want faster and want to continue killing people,
they never do.
That's what you'll have.
OK, Michael in Dover, hi. What about this 10 miles an hour? Anywhere near a building, it's 10 miles an hour.
Well, as usual, you're over the top, Jeremy. There's so much to discuss on this subject. But if you go back to the 70s, I believe it was in the 70s, Park Lane was 30 miles an hour in London, and they found the vast majority of cars were breaking the speed limit. They carried out an experiment and increased the speed limit for the road, and the vast majority of the cars obeyed the speed limit.
Of course they did, because they were unable to obey 30, so they put the speed limit up.
Yes, but the vast majority of the cars then reduce the average speed of the cars travelling up and down Park Lane. Because
I feel bad because Park
Jeremy?
Lane, most people know from the Monopoly board, there shouldn't even be a place called Park Lane. It's ridiculous. Why do we have a lane going through a park?
Oh, come on. Do you want everybody to live in their own little village and never move anywhere?
Do you know that used to be Park, and then someone said, we need cars down it. 6 lanes of cars now.
But this is this country's capital city. And the other thing that being nearly 60, respectfully, it's probably a while since you did the school run, I would have thought.
Well, I try not to drive. I'm nervous of driving.
OK,
now.
so
I'm terrified of driving.
Anybody who does the school run will know that the school run polices itself in terms of speed. The sheer volume of cars, people dropping off.
Well, then you don't mind a 10 mile an hour limit.
Yeah, but I do mind it when the school gates are closed and everybody's gone home.
But Angela, when you put up a sign now, it doesn't have to be a fixed sign saying 10 miles an hour. You can have a LED sign that can be 10 miles an hour during school times, and it might be 20 miles at another time.
If you want to drive into a child in the school holidays, you can. Tracy in Fife, hello.
He said it impartially.
Hey, Tracy.
Hello.
Oh, not a good day.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Sorry, I thought we'd caught you in the middle of a crisis.
No, I just wanted to say that school hospitals, you've got people leaving on crutches and you've got mental health people crossing roads. If they're going 10 miles an hour, you've got better chance being seen near the road and people can slow down. And, people can cross. But I've known where you've got 30, 40 miles an hour, cars coming round, and you can't get across.
Yeah, I mean, is that in Fife or just more? You're not from Scotland originally, I'm taking it.
No, I'm from Yorkshire.
Okay, how's the driving in Fife?
Murder. Our main road is down to 20 miles an hour, and most people just don't listen to it. They just drive up and down, and you've got kids trying to cross the road to get to the school, infant school.
Disgusting.
And a lot of kids do not have road sense.
Yeah, well, of course.
This is what I think it will unleash a lot of frustrated drivers, which will make it more dangerous for children.
But the idea that we can't change the law because someone might lose their marbles.
No, but we've not got enough. How are you going to police it? Are you going to have robotical cameras everywhere? How's that going to work?
You can put a camera on a sign.
Well, look, we're going to driverless. This is not the issue. We're going to driverless cars. We can't get to driverless cars quickly enough. There's no way they're going to kill 1,700 people.
When we go to driverless cars, I'm sure there'll be a way the car will just be forced to slow.
Of course it will.
Those are dangerous. I've just been in an electric car, and it's got one of those things where it tries to guide you. It was a hideous experience.
Well, I bet it drove better than you, with respect.
Can I just say, if you're going like that, you must be driving badly. I mean, you drive like that.
Humans drive badly. I drive badly. Julie in Dover, hi. Welcome. What would you like to say?
Well, firstly, happy birthday, Eve.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry it's a big argument today. Thank you.
You don't deserve that torture. I disagree with making it 10 miles an hour. I think we should bring back lollipop ladies because they could manage the traffic and people recognise them.
Yeah.
And also, I was driving the other day during school time and parents were pushing their children into the road and then, as an afterthought, putting their hand up to tell me to stop, although I was driving slowly.
Yeah.
But it's like they need to have more responsibility as pedestrians as well as car drivers for a road. A road is a dangerous place to be.
It's funny. When I'm on my bicycle and a pedestrian steps out, I can be a little bit cross, and I think, no, the safest road is the one where a pedestrian can do that without being hurt. And I quite like the idea of just walking across the road and waving traffic to stop. I do it myself.
Julie is bang on the money here because some of the worst behaviour around schools is not cars. It's not the speed of cars. It's the parents. They're in a hurry. They're trying to shepherd a few kids at the same time, and it doesn't matter how fast or slow those cars are
But I was
going.
in a traffic jam the other day. I was in a coat, what do you call it, a minicab, and this guy jams the brakes. I said, blimey, I'm jolted from my seat. He said, no, it's not me. It's the car. The car detected someone coming near.
Awful.
And it's not awful. It's going to save a life.
No, it makes me sick. I can't go in that taxi. They make me sick.
Yeah. OK, well,
physically sick.
You just get a handsome cab, do you?
I can see they gave this to me as a birthday treat, this item, and they dared me to be impartial, and of course I can't be. Thank you, Julie. Thanks for bearing with me.